Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So today I will start with chapter 2, scientific investigation. So as mentioned previously, research is a scientific investigation. So what are the characteristics of a scientific investigation? So these are the characteristics: rigor, testability, replicability, parsimony, purposiveness, generalizability, objectivity, precision, and confidence. So I will explain in detail each of these characteristics. The first one is the purposiveness. When we do research, we must focus on the certain issue. For example, let's say you want to study about the employees' productivity levels. So you want to focus on how you can increase the employees' productivity levels. How do you decrease cholesterol level? How do you decrease body weight for obese individuals? So you must have a purpose. You must focus on the certain issue. The second characteristic is rigor. You must have a good theoretical base, carefully thought out methodology. When you do research, you must take into consideration the method that you are going to use, what are the variables that involved in your research, the number of sample size, whether is it sufficient or not to present the whole population. So you must be very rigor. Carefully thought out of the methodology. Next, when you do research, you must make sure that it is testable. It has an ability of the sample data to test the hypothesis put forth. For example, here, let's say you want to determine whether the average age of marriage for women in Malaysia is 25. So is the sample data is sufficient or not? To be used to support the hypothesis. The next one is replicability. Result of the study is similar to other previous studies which have employed the same methodology and similar environment. We can replicate the same experiment or the same method on the same data set. Suppose that we can get the same result. So the research we conduct supposed to be can be replicate. Kalau tak boleh replicate, macam mana orang lain nak verify sama ada kita punya research tu betul ataupun tak. So it must be able to be replicate and then produce a similar result. Kalau you buat eksperimen yang sama, guna teknik yang sama, data yang sama, tapi you tak dapat result yang macam yang the previous researcher buat. So something wrong with the analysis or something wrong with the method. Precision. Precision means closeness of the study result to reality. Remember, kita cuma ambil sampel sahaja. So when we use the sample, we must make sure that the sample that we use can represent the whole population. And then it can when we apply to the real situation, it can represent the reality. So we measure using the confidence interval. Objectivity. So we must use an empirical data, not intuition. I think I have mentioned this before. When we do research, we cannot use intuition. Rasa-rasa, agak-agak. So it must be very objective. Ya ataupun tidak. Enough evidence or not enough evidence. So it must objectivity. Generalizability means that the applicability of the research findings to other setting. For example, let's say you want to study about a depression among nurses. You can also apply the research findings, let's say, to doctors, to teachers. So your research can make a generalization about the population. The next one is a parsimony. Parsimony, we use a simple method Okay, but we manage to come up with economic and practical result. Okay, for example here. Okay, kalau tengok dekat gambar ni kan, okay, gambar yang saya tunjuk dekat sini, okay, this guy dia nak beli apa pencukur kan, okay, kita kalau boleh, ya orang lelaki lah kalau beli pencukur, kalau boleh dia nak yang simple, yang mudah, and then yang paling penting it achieve the objective. Okay, kita tak nak, okay, dia terlalu complicated. Okay, dia menyelesaikan masalah, but it is complicated. Okay, kena masuk bateri ke ataupun kena pakai plug. Okay, and then kena basuh. Okay, so itu complicated. We don't want that. We want a simple one. Okay, tak payah basuh, boleh pakai buang. Murah. Okay, the main important is it achieve the objective. Okay. And then when we do research, okay, these are the obstacles. Okay, difficulty in quantifying human behavior such as feelings, emotions, attitudes, perceptions, and so forth. Okay, this is very difficult to measure. How do you make? Macam mana kita nak measure berapa persen saya gembira hari ni? Berapa persen saya rasa marah? Okay, berapa skor saya mengantuk hari ni. Okay, so it's very difficult to quantifying human behaviors. Okay, and then the second obstacles, okay, in doing research, difficulty in obtaining representative samples due to lack of support, impossible. Okay, kadang-kadang sampel kita tak cukup. Okay, that can represent the whole population. That is the obstacles when we do research. Okay, so these are the cycle of doing research. Okay, so first we will start with the identify a broad problem area and then define the problem statement. Okay, and then based on the problem statement we develop the hypothesis. Okay, determine measures, meaning that we determine what are the variable need to be collected, okay, to be measured. Data collection, okay, determine the sample size and so forth, and then we do the data analysis and finally the interpretation of data. So this is the process of research. Okay, so I guess that's all for chapter 2. So I will see you on the next chapter.